Okay, well, let's just start with me talking to myself. So, the video that I was just watching about how the internet seems to be disappearing, which really what's happening is that it's becoming more specifically curated, um, and less of an exploration and more of a, curation of what you should know. And on the video, there was this interesting comment that was talking about how it's a very different experience to go online versus when you go to the library. And what they were saying is that when you go online to learn about something or to look at something, you already have to know about what you're trying to know. So you can't seek what you don't know. Whereas sites like StumbleUpon, or sort of the way the internet used to be structured, or a library, you can go and stumble upon different things that you didn't even know existed. Whereas most of the way the internet is presented and curated nowadays is predicated on, sort of like the liquidation of symbolism through capitalism and the economic structures and the values that are held by the people that are coding the algorithms and the way that the internet is filtered. And what they were saying about this is, that it's scary and it's a negative. And of course, people who haven't really experienced life before the curation of the internet and social media and that sort of thing are sort of living in a limited way of how we explore reality. So I love how people are having these sort of conversations and trying to better understand our experience as the central concern of a lot of just sort of what's happening and how we're going to be able to engage with each other in our environment. Now, the way that I think of it is that what's missing from a lot of the social platforms or the internet in general is that it's curated versus facilitated. And facilitation is different than curation. Facilitation is focused on, facilitating our ability to explore our environment organically before we impose morality. Morality is a secondary concern once we, have to get into the details and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think that what's missing from everything is facilitation. We just don't have structures or the knowledge per se to understand how to explore these environments. And one of my friends does computer coding, and for him, he has sort of a different experience online because he understands how to utilize search engines and the language of technology to, sort of explore more deeply and that sort of thing. And a lot of us don't have that ability. Now, the difference is a lot of us go online to learn everything. Like, we're spending more and more time online. So for me, the way that I think about it is, well, the understanding of how to facilitate our exploration of our environment begins offline. And it's about understanding our values, which are going to shape and project through our mind and, predicate what we're looking for. The more you learn how to facilitate outside the internet, the better you are at recognizing meaning on the internet. So what I mean by that is, when I go online and I see all these negative things and all of these opinions and, cultural conversations that are at the forefront of whatever people care about, and of course people are going to care more about what they're exposed to more, what I'm looking for is simply a restoration of my, of objective sense of reality, which is whatever is as humanly objective as possible. So when I go online, it's not about the content, it's about how are people communicating, and what are people getting out of these things, and how can we better serve our own needs. And for me, I find that everywhere, because all across the internet it's just people.